You know that moment when someone keeps getting away with everything until karma finally catches up and exposes everything? Well, that's exactly what's happening to Jason Pirate Software Hall. But this isn't your average internet downfall. This is a speed run, a step-by-step guide on how to destroy your own reputation while making it worse at every turn. This is the story of a man who went from beloved indie dev to one of the internet's most hated figures in record time. And the craziest part, he's the one who lit the fire. Jason built his brand on the image of an ex-government hacker turned game developer, 20 years of coding experience, a Blizzard veteran, a genius programmer. At least that's the story he told. But the closer people looked, the more it fell apart. His so-called magnum opus, Heartbound, has been in development for 8 years and still looks like a half-baked school project. GTA 5 took less time to build, and Jason's game has less depth than a cheap toy in a kid's meal. When real programmers reviewed his work, they didn't just find flaws. They found code so messy it wouldn't pass a first-year intern's review. Jason struggles with fundamentals, yet he parades around as a mentor teaching others how to make games. And the coding disaster? That was just the beginning. The real issue was his time at Blizzard. Jason bragged that he got the job purely on talent, no help, no strings pulled. But then a former co-worker, who also happened to be his roommate, exposed the truth. Jason spent most of his workdays browsing Reddit instead of doing actual tasks. When she tried reporting him, nothing. Why? Because Jason's father was a Blizzard executive. Firing him would have been professional suicide for anyone who dared. Now let's talk about Jason as a roommate, because this part sounds unreal. Within a week of moving in, he wrecked furniture, trashed the kitchen, and turned the bathroom into a biohazard zone. We're talking mysterious grey substances smeared on the walls, a toilet so disgusting it needed hazmat gloves, and what his roommate described as possibly snot or worse, wiped all over the bedroom walls. This wasn't some broke college kid. This was a grown adult. Supposedly a professional. And if you thought that was bad, imagine this. A charity event for sick children. The vibe is light. Everyone's casually playing League of Legends to raise money. Jason? He's raging at teammates like it's the World Finals. He was so toxic that nobody wanted to play with him ever again. That's not passion. That's just being unbearable. But Jason didn't stop at being a lousy dev, an idle coworker, and a nightmare roommate. He allegedly crossed into scamming his own fans. Remember his Twitch hype train world record? Turns out it was staged. Jason and his moderator faked about $50,000 in donations using alt accounts, complete with scripted messages to make it look authentic. On stream, Jason acted shocked, like he was winning an Oscar. But the whole thing was more staged than reality TV. And this time, the fallout was real. Potential fraud charges, consumer protection violations, even Twitch bans. He didn't just scam people. He did it in the most obvious, traceable way imaginable. And here's the common thread. Jason never owns up. When his stop killing games rant backfired, instead of apologizing, he doubled down and told critics to, quote, kiss my ass. When developers called out his bad code, he dismissed them as YouTube grifters. When co-workers exposed his Blizzard habits, he played the victim. When the hype train scam surfaced, he blamed his mod. Even Dr. K, Twitch's go-to therapist, couldn't break through. Jason just deflects, denies, and shifts blame. And now the numbers tell the story better than words. Over 200,000 people unsubscribed from his YouTube. His viewership collapsed by 90%. Streams that once broke records are now practically empty. This isn't cancel culture. This is just consequences. People finally saw the real Jason Hall and walked away. It got so bad he had to resign from his own company just to stop dragging his colleagues down. Even Ludwig and the off-brand games crew had to cut ties. And that's the most tragic part. Jason had every advantage: family connections, a massive platform, loyal fans, opportunities most devs can only dream of. But he threw it all away because he couldn't stop being arrogant, careless, and dishonest. His downfall wasn't cancel culture. It wasn't a smear campaign. It was self-inflicted. Every scam, every lie, every rant, he built his own collapse, brick by brick. The pirate ship didn't sink because of enemies. It smashed straight into the rocks, with Jason Hall proudly at the wheel. So, can pirate software ever recover from this? Or is this the end of the story? Let me know in the comments and I'll catch you in the next one.